y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm Yolanda, two-time WNBA champion turned health and mindset strategist, and I am on a mission to help women over 40 transform their mindset, take control of their health, and lose weight for good by leveraging GLP-1 medications the right way. I was able to lose almost 80 pounds in the past 8 months by leveraging GLP-1 medications as a tool and not as a crutch. And so I'm on a mission to help as many women as I can do the same. On today's video, we're going to be talking about metabolism, menopause, and the mindset shift that helps you finally lose weight. And this is all for women over 40. And yes, I have my notes. All right, so if you are over 40 in menopause or perimenopause and you feel like your body just doesn't respond the way that it used to, because it doesn't, then this is for you. So I'm breaking down how your metabolism works, what really happens during menopause, because ain't nobody tell me, and the mindset shift that can help you finally start losing weight again, but lose it and keep it off. All right, so we're gonna keep things simple. Don't let the thickness of my notes fool you. We're gonna keep it simple. This is not about perfection. It is about progress. And over here, we use practical strategies and biblical wisdom backed by science to do that. So this is about partnering with God and also making better choices and being a better steward of our bodies and our health. I don't know why I'm playing. Let me put my glasses on so I can see. All right, so let's talk about first what metabolism is for real. So your metabolism is how your body turns food into energy. So if you think of it like a fire, when the fire is strong, it burns fuel really easily. But when the fire dies down, it barely burns anything, even if you keep throwing wood on it. I grew up in the country, so we used to go chop our wood and have fires and stuff like that. So I understand exactly what that means. So when the fire when the fire dies down, it doesn't burn anything. So think of your metabolism like that. So after 40, especially during menopause, your fire starts to burn a little lower. All right. Why? And it's because of hormones, particularly estrogen, which helps regulate how your body stores fat and uses insulin. And we'll talk more about that in a second. When your estrogen drops, metabolism slows down and fat sticks around and your energy plummets. Like you don't have no energy. Here's what the research shows. I forgot to mention that I am currently studying to become a certified wellness coach with a specialization in understanding GLP-1 medications and how they work so that I'll be able to better help my clients, and also a certified personal trainer, because we don't want to just lose weight, baby. We ain't be walking around here looking like California raisin. We gonna get that body toned and right. So we talking about nutrition and all the things, but today we talking about metabolism. Okay, so here's what the research shows. After 40, your metabolism naturally drops by 2 to 3% per decade, unless you actively build muscle and stay consistent with your movement and nutrition. That's why any videos or any information out there about weight loss for women over 40, they harp on strength training and building your muscles and not so much on cardio, right? Menopause, well, we know menopause changes everything. And it'll make you feel like, well, I know it made me feel like I was broken, because I didn't understand it. I'm 50, so I didn't grow up in the era of information where information was readily available. And child, I don't know about y'all, but my mom wasn't having these kind of conversations with me. So menopause is not punishment, even though it feels like it, because how you hot up here and cold down there, how that work? How you have hot flashes that feel like the top of your head, you could literally see some like steam coming from your head. Like that's how bad it is, and you have no control of it. Like you can't stop it or anything like that. So it could feel like it's a punishment, but it's really just a transition. It's just your body shifting gears. But most of us don't know how to drive this new body that we got. And so we keep trying to do what worked years ago in our 20s, and we get frustrated when it stops working. I know for me, my initial instinct when I woke up and I went to bed at size 12 and I woke up and I couldn't fit any of my clothes. I was like, where all this extra come from around here? And who is that back there? Because it was a lot more. It was just a lot of belly fat. Like it was a lot. It was just a lot. It was a lot more of me than I was comfortable with having. And so when I started to work out first, because I didn't automatically just jump into using GLP-1 medications, I did what I knew to do. I started going to the gym. I was doing 20 minutes of cardio, and I was lifting weights, like a maniac, 3 to 4 times a day, 3 to 4 times a week. But I was doing it all wrong because my 50-year-old body was not responding the way that my 20-something-year-old body did when I was playing basketball. And so here's what actually changes during menopause. Lower estrogen and progesterone, which equals more belly fat, more mood swings, and slower metabolism. Y'all, I used to feel so sorry for my kids. Baby, when I first hit menopause, I was like, all the time. I would have the air on like 60 in the wintertime, and they'd be walking around the house with blankets on. And I remember one time I went off on my son. I was like, why are you walking around with a blanket on? This dude just said, mama. He just blew, and I just saw his breath. Like, that's how cold it was. That's how cold it was. But we wasn't finna turn the air off, though. Yeah, we wasn't finna do that. So, mood swings, more belly fat, and slower metabolism. That's what happens when your estrogen drops. Higher cortisol, which is the stress hormone. It equals fatigue, cravings. You start craving salty foods and sugary foods, and it stores fat. And then the insulin resistance increases during menopause. So your body doesn't handle sugar or carbs the same way anymore. And speaking of insulin, because this is like the hidden key, insulin is a hormone that helps your body use sugar for energy. When your insulin works well, your body takes the sugar from your food and uses it for energy. But when you eat too much, when you eat too often, when you eat too many processed foods, or you eat too many carbs, your insulin gets overwhelmed and it stops working properly. This is called insulin resistance. And when your insulin isn't working properly, you store more fat, especially in your stomach area. You crave more sugar. You feel tired all the time. You have more headaches, and you can't lose weight no matter what you do. And most women over 40 have some level of insulin resistance, but most of us just don't know it. And so here's what the science says. Studies show that insulin resistance increases during perimenopause and menopause, and that's why fat storage shifts from hips and thighs to the belly. Mine didn't. Mine was like, nah, you getting equal opportunity, because I had hips, thighs, stomach, breasts got big, like everything was just big for no reason. But here's a way that you can reverse insulin resistance. You have to have consistent habits. And so the mindset shift that changes the game is you have to stop believing that there's nothing that you can do. You have to stop believing that you're lazy, because you're not lazy. You're just working the wrong way. You have to work smarter and not harder. Okay. So, and then you have to tell yourself, we have to give ourselves grace, right? We have to remind ourselves that this is just a natural change of life. For whatever reason, God saw fit to let this be a part of the natural evolution of our bodies, right? And there's nothing that you can do about it. You live long enough, every woman is going to go through this. And so if you think you're stuck, you're not stuck. You just need new tools and a new strategy. And you have to understand that you are responsible for stewarding your health well. Y'all, God does not want us sick. And the same way we have to steward our finances, the same way we have to steward opportunities and relationships, y'all, we got to steward our bodies and our health the same way. And so you have to have the right perspective. You have to transform your thinking. And your transformation doesn't start with a workout. It starts with what you believe. I think I said this last video, or maybe the video before, that you will only succeed at the level of what you believe you're capable of, or what you believe you're worthy of. And so you have to start believing that you are worthy of being healthy. You are worthy of feeling good, looking good in your clothes. It's not vanity. Ain't nothing wrong with that. If you're sitting in the house and you don't like how you look, so you're not going outside, you going outside as only as you need to. I'm going to work. I'm going to do what I got to do with these kids. I'm going to the grocery store and I'm coming home. That was me. I didn't even want to go outside because I just did not like how I look. The enemy uses that against you, because if you are so stuck and you're stuck with your health, and you don't like how you feel, you don't like how you look in your clothes, you don't want to interact with people, how are you going to fulfill your God-given purpose? That's why, you guys, God does not want you sick. All this, oh, I'm going to still be on medicine. This summer, it's just going to be on medication. Now, I know there are some people that have illnesses and things like that that require them to be on medication. But y'all, some of this stuff that we have going on with our bodies, it just takes us making some different choices. That's it. And you have to have the right mindset for that. So here are some practical steps to align your mind, your metabolism, and menopause. So we're going to keep it super practical. And this is what I'm teaching my clients. Balance your blood sugar. Eat protein first at every meal. That's chicken, eggs, fish, lamb, steak, beef, whatever it is. Like, don't eat protein bars because that stuff is artificial. It's not real food, y'all. Unless you get some kind of plant-based something, whole food something that doesn't have a whole lot of different ingredients. You can read what the ingredients say, like it's peanuts. It's not like a word that's got like 17 consonants and no vowels in it. You don't want to eat that stuff. Like, eat the food that God calls food, right? So you want to eat protein first at every meal. That's your chicken, your eggs, your fish, your beans. You want to add healthy fats, avocados, olive oils, almonds, cashews, not no honey roasted nothing, not no chocolate covered nothing, just the regular lightly salted, because I can't eat no naked cashews. I like cashews. I can't eat no naked cashews. Almonds, I don't like almonds. But if you like almonds, those are good. You want to eat fiber-rich vegetables, leafy greens, broccoli, bell peppers. You want to limit your sugar and white carbs, your breads, your pastas, and your pastries. And don't skip meals, you guys. If the less you eat, you make your body doesn't know when it's going to get more fuel, so it will store the food longer because you're not eating enough. Excuse me. So you want to make sure that you're eating enough, right? And this keeps your insulin steady and helps your body burn fat instead of storing it. Because you're eating enough, it's getting enough fuel, it's getting enough energy. It's your insulin is like working properly. It's able to burn off. It's able to use it for use it for energy, right? And not store it for fat. Okay, the second thing you want to do, so the first thing we're going to do is balance our blood sugar. The second thing we're going to do is you want to work out and you want to move. I don't care if it's 20 minutes a day walking. Now, I ain't talking about that kind of walking where you dragging your feet and you can hold a whole conversation on the phone at the same time. We're not talking about that. We talking about like move like you got somewhere to go, like you got somewhere to be. But don't overdo it. You don't have to do 45 minutes of whatever. You don't have to run 3 miles a day. You could just do like a 20-minute walk. Prayer walks are really, really good. I love going on prayer walks. They help you. Obviously, you can connect with God. You can hear him more clearly. But they're so... they give you so much clarity, and you're killing two birds with one stone. That's how I go, right? Yeah, I think. Yeah, because you're walking and you having a conversation with God, with your daddy. All right, you want to add light strength training 2 to 3 times a week. Now, I don't agree with this. I think that when you're building muscle, you want to go as heavy as you can stand it. If you lifting 10 pounds of weights, child, why? Stop wasting the people time. Get out the way. Go on and put some weight on that thing. You want to stretch. You want to make sure that you're stretching and do breathing exercises. So stress raises cortisol, and cortisol stores belly fat. So stretching and breathing can help relieve stress. You don't need to do like extreme workouts and those HIIT workouts and all that kind of stuff. You just need consistent movement that honors your body. The third thing you want to do is make sure that you get 7 to 8 hours of sleep. That's non-negotiable. You want to turn your screens off at least 30 minutes before bed. And you want to like decompress. You want to get all of that stuff out of you. Just sit in silence for like 30 minutes. Don't allow your mind to think about anything. And turn the screens off. Pray, journal, stretch before bed. And really, honestly, you guys, just trust God. Like he tells us to cast our cares upon him. Don't be anxious for anything, but through prayer and supplication, bring our concerns or make our requests made known to him. If you are struggling in your health, if you got stress in your life, please allow God to be a part of it. Like he cares. We think he doesn't care about the intricate details of our life, but I promise you he does. What matters to you matters to him. If you're a parent, when your kid hurts, you hurt. If God is your father, now if you're a Christian, if that's what you believe, and you've you recognize God as Lord of your life and as your Father, He cares about what you care about, no matter how big or how small. So you have to rest. Psalms 127:2 said He gives His beloved rest. Rest is not a luxury, you guys. It is a necessity. It is a spiritual and biological necessity. Go to sleep. Just go to sleep. I promise you, the problem won't be there tomorrow. You might as well go and go to sleep. Okay. And the next thing you want to do is you want to speak life over your health daily. You have to say things like, I'm learning to work with my body and not against it. You know, God is restoring my energy, strength, and clarity. You know, life and death are in the power of the tongue. Your words can align your mind with your healing. You guys, weight loss is 80% mental and 20% all the other stuff. I promise you, you have to be your mind has to be in alignment with your body. And if you're constantly putting yourself down, because I used to do that. I used to hate looking in the mirror. I mean, I used to get dressed with the lights off because I ain't want to look at that. I used to beat myself up like, girl, you are a whole professional athlete, like a world champion basketball player. How you let yourself get like, why you in an 18? Like, why? Why are you almost 250 pounds? Like, that's how I used to talk to myself. I don't anymore. And if you do that, I encourage you to stop. Talk to yourself the way that you would talk to if this was your daughter or if this were your little sister or your best friend. You would speak to them with such kindness and grace while holding them accountable. So you need to treat yourself with the same grace. All right. And the last thing is, this isn't about being skinny, you guys. This is about stewardship. Y'all, weight loss is not about vanity, y'all. It's spiritual. Again, if you are not healthy, you cannot truly fulfill your God-given assignment in this earth, which means that you're going to walk around mad at the world because you unfilled, not walking in your purpose, and you see everybody else, other people walking in their person, living happy, fulfilled lives, going along, God blessing them. They're doing what they're walking in their calling. You see them walking in their gifts, and you mad, you in the corner mad. Because you can't breathe. You sound like Sally the Seal every time you take 2 steps. Because you need to lose weight, period. And I say that with love, okay? So in order for you to be effective, not just in your day-to-day life, but just effective in your purpose, you got to get healthy. And so this is bigger than weight loss. This is about stewarding your body, your mind, and your energy so you can walk in your full God-given assignment. God doesn't need you perfect. He just needs you present, available, and healthy enough to show up and lead. Okay? Okay. So I hope this video was helpful to you guys. If you have any questions or comments, make sure that you leave those in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. And let me know what other information you have questions about on your health journey and how I can be a support. I will see you guys next time.